Shalom.
Shalom.
First off, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Yahweh be the true name for Heavenly Father. Yahushai be the name for His only begotten Son, who Lord everybody calls God, Jesus Christ. We want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who taught us the truth and well, and cite us to hope that Christian is truth, and all honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahushai, and Brother
Taziar, GMSKC, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bracket Stam, to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
God. We're a couple of brothers come at you. No less the Spirit, Power Yahweh Shem Yahushai, again out of GMS Kansas City camp, just linking up to the Spirit. And what's heavy right now is testimonies of brothers coming in contact with angels, man. So what we want to do is we're going to show a quick little picture as far as what was shared amongst the brothers of Great Millstone, where they caught an angel in the midst of the fire. They just took a quick photo and saw an angel in the midst of the fire. And it's a spirit that that brother seen that, because you know, I remember just a few days ago, I believe it might have been last weekend, or it might have been weekend before last, I was sitting out there, you know, doing a lesson on the chariots and the angels, and during the middle of my lesson, I caught a chariot on camera while I was doing a show, you know. And then just a testimony from camp, this last camp, while we were out prophesying, you know, one of the brothers, basically two of the brothers was looking at, I believe, to like the left hand side of the direction of where we were standing, and it was a big great flash, and brothers felt some of that radiation off that flash, and it was a big cloud like a little bit further away, but the flash didn't necessarily come from the cloud. It came from like a different direction. And immediately after that flash, brother was like, "Whoa, did you see that?" Like, that was different. Like, it wasn't. They could tell it really wasn't lightning, but it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. To the point where brothers felt like something different behind that flash. And then there was a very, very loud thunder. You know, it was like boom, boom, a real loud boom. And then we continued to prophesy. You know, we took note of it. You know, everybody heard them on camera during the lesson. And then next thing you know, after we shut down, you know, we was, you know, just sitting back for a minute, just talking amongst ourselves. We took our garments off. Everybody put their garments away. We had no signs sitting out. So we were in basically regular street clothes. Nobody would know as far as what we were doing prior to that point. We were just standing there talking amongst like regular so-called black men out there. And next thing you know, some dude, homeless dude, walks by, and he walks past us, and he says shalom or shalom, and all of us look by like, hey, you know, we all said shalom, shalom. We're like, how does he know that we know we're Israelites? What are the chances that happened right after that flash where we suspected that it was a chariot? All of a sudden, that guy walks past and says shalom to us. So we know through the spirit that was an angel, man. And then lo and behold, another testimony came out. One of the brothers was prophesying in Spanish, and he basically went over to the, I believe they're called the redwood trees over in Cali, northern Cali, and they saw a chariot. And right after seeing that chariot, they started chilling a little bit, and they looked in a fire. And one of the brothers, you know, was on the spirit to take a picture of the fire. And then when he took a picture of the fire, when you look at that picture, we'll be getting ready to show you real quick, you see an angel in the midst of the fire. So you want to pull that up. So we're gonna pan the camera around so you can exactly see, you know, what we talk about. And it's even clearer when we're showing it on camera than it is if you just download it to your phone. But that's obvious. That's a figure standing right there in the midst of that fire. You can see a human-shaped like figure to the right-hand side, man. Like, I'll point it out, but this right here, man. You know, I can't tell if his back is turned. You can clearly see shoulders right here. You can see that this is the head, and I believe he's facing like that direction. Now this is another light. I don't think that's like his eye or anything, but it kind of looks a little spooky as far as that. But it's definitely a figure. It looks like he has a garment on, like a cape coming down in the back. That's as far as what I can see. Or he could be facing this direction. But we got a few scriptures that we're gonna bring out about it, because you know, through the Spirit, brothers was hopping on the angels heavily, you know, prior to the new year. You know, me personally, I did a few shows on the angels, and the Spirit hopped on me to put it out there, saying, "Hey, get ready, because we're gonna see angels." They're gonna become more and more prevalent. because we're going to get accustomed to it, because the angels are going to be there with divine intervention to help us out during Jacob's trouble. So we're going to begin to see more and more of these things. People are going to begin to see these so-called UFO sightings in the sky more and more. It's becoming very prevalent to the point we just had a blood moon a couple days ago. And in the blood moon, one of my mother's best friends told my mom, hey, I saw a UFO next to the blood moon. And they don't know that the UFOs are chariots. I'm like, yeah, Mom, that's a chariot. She's like, yeah, I told you that. You've been telling me that those are chariots. So it's not just to the point to where it's just prophets now are seeing them. You know, ordinary people are seeing them more and more. They're becoming more and more prevalent. So we got a couple precepts on deck. You got anything you want to say off? You go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of our people in general, Israelites have a connection to the so-called chariots, man. Even at the times when we had lost our identity, that's why you have that song called "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot," "Sweet Low, Sweet Chariot," because our people knew that those were a connection to us. Our people knew that those were, vehicles of the Most High, man.
Right.
The same way when you look into the Aztecs and the Mayans, they all have, so-called UFOs in their art because our people have a connection to those things, man. So, Issachar is known for looking up into the stars. Hey, man, they know what's up, man. You see all kind of chariots in Mexico. You
Right.
see all kind of chariots on the west coast of America. Hey, we see them out here, but those things are more prevalent in Arizona, California, Mexico, South America. Why? Because our people have a connection to those, man.
Right.
Those are for the Israelites, man.
That's right. Khan, you want to grab Hebrews 13 and 2 out?
Yeah, I got one for you.
Khan, go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. It says, "The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them."
God, hey, yeah. So the angel is at camp, and that photo you saw was an angel holding posts amongst the brothers. Every time the brothers are out there prophesying or amongst themselves, we have a hedge of protection.
Yep.
So even though we can't visibly see the angels by naked eye, the spirit compelled the brother to snap that photo because it was so spiritual from the testimony that was shared. Because the testimony of the brother said that when they got up there to the sequoia trees, they didn't even have a campground spot assigned. Because somebody got to pay for a spot out there. They didn't pay for anything. Somebody gave up their spot for them as they were leaving, and then on top of that, they said the people around there volunteered and gave them firewood. Just offered it up and gave it to them. Now with that firewood that they burned, they were able to catch that angel on camera, man, and took a photo and snapped it of him, man. And that angel was clearly encamped around the brothers. So the Lord wanted that to the spirit to be seen, to be put out there for a testimony, man.
Yep. And even if you don't see the chariots, that don't mean they not there, man.
Right.
Because they might be cloaked as clouds, things like that, man. So even on your everyday life, you have to move like you're being watched.
Right.
Because we are, man. Whether you know it or not, it might be a clear sky, but the angels might be cloaked, observing. So us, Lord willing, we be the elect, but us men of the Lord, man, we have a tight scope under us, man.
Right.
But you wanted Hebrews what?
Hebrews 13 and 2.
Okay. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
Hey, yep. So unawarely, you might have somebody that came up to your camp that could be actual angel. Just reporting. Sometimes come there and watch. Elder Apostle Tahar just uploaded another video, another testimony. He was like, this might be an angel.
Yep.
That came up to camp. So the spirit is hopping right now, and it's flowing through amongst all the camps to bring this out. Because it's no coincidence that the brothers here at GMS Kansas City, we done came across an angel. We done seen chariots. We had a chariot sighting followed by an angel. And he came in disguised as a homeless man. And most angels, they're going to come in that aspect because the Lord said he's coming to save the meek, the lowly of the earth. So the angels, they carry themselves very, very low and humble. Because the Lord is not about pride at all. He hates pride. He hates it. So the angels, they're going to carry themselves the way the Lord would expect to see them, And they're going to set example amongst the rest of our people. And then only the elect would be able to identify that person and not say straight up say, hey, this is just a derelict, this is just a heathen. You know, brothers are going to judge through the spirit. So through the spirit, the angel walked by, even though he was homeless. He said, Shalom. We didn't look him up and down like some of these other false Israelites looking at that bum like IUIC. They'd be like, where your fringes at, nigga? That's some type of shit they would have said. But the homeless dude walked by and said Shalom to us, man. Said Shalom. You know? And we didn't have no garments on, no nothing. We never seen this guy. You know, we've seen people that watch us on a regular basis, so we would have been able to identify, okay, this guy's seen us out here prophesy before. He knows what we're about. We're very observant while we're out there teaching. We've never seen this man. He came up not long after that flash of that chariot sighting. So there had to have been an angel, man. So that's why the scripture says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, because some of those strangers may not be really strangers. You know, some of them strangers are actually angels, and I'm going to get the account of that in the book of Genesis, because it goes into it. Alright, so this is the book of Genesis chapter 19 verse 1. And there came 2 angels to Sodom and Eden, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. Okay? Now, so these angels didn't come appearing like Martians with some damn alien heads, man. Why? Because you had regular ass men that was lusting after them, which means they look like people.
Right.
Which means they look like you and me. So you could be speaking with an angel and have no idea you just spoke with an angel, man. And they can be undercover, living regular lives like Israelites out here, working whatever it may be, and you'll never know, man. You'll never know to that day. And going forward, it says, verse 4, Genesis chapter 19, verse 4, but before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, where are the men which came to thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. Did they say, where are the Martians? No, they said, where are the men? So this means angels look like men. The Lord gives you a description. They're described as angels. So you can't be forgetful to entertain angels. That's why the Lord is beautiful, because he gives you instructions on how to carry yourself and how to interact with other Israelites, other people in general. Always be cordial, man.
I appreciate that.
Nah, go ahead.
It's right on point. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 18, or start at 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil, but provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as such as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
That's right. Hey, so be peaceable. Because we could have, if we weren't peaceable, we would have offended that angel. And that angel reports directly to the Heavenly Father. So what? We would have been, that would have sealed our fate. You offend one of the angels, you don't have a good report. You know? But it's beautiful because brothers are countering them more and more, man. I know during last time, during one of the playoff games, it was one of those camps.
The Cowboys and the Redskins.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There was an angel chilling right there in the stand. Now nobody else could see that angel. You know, that angel was caught on camera, but everybody else on camera didn't even recognize this guy.
Brothers in the spirit caught him.
Yeah, brothers in the spirit caught him. He had all dark, bronze, brown skin.
And pure white
Pure
beard.
white bull, pure white beard, pure white
that.
afro.
I saw that live, and the brother did a video afterwards.
Yep.
And they confirmed it.
And then the exact same, I believe it might have been the exact same camp, they had prophesied next to that stadium. They encountered an angel at camp. The brother came up to the brothers that was holding posts in front of that stadium, said Shalom, and hugged them brothers and greeted them. Every last one of them in the camp dipped out, disappeared. And brothers like, hey, I felt like that was an angel. Through the spirit, they felt it was an angel. And it was no coincidence. Later on during the game, an angel showed up during the game too.
Yep. And then earlier this year too, you had the heavy testimony with the brother in Florida. You know, the one who had ended up in the hospital because he had burned himself.
Right.
But he said at camp, I think it was like the camp prior to that incident happened, because the brother was thinking about stepping down from his position. I think he was in third in command. And the angel basically came up to him. He was off camera and told him that, if you think about stepping down, I'll kill you.
Right.
I'll put a heart attack and you'll die right here in front of your brothers, man.
Damn.
So that further edifies the point that we are being watched. Even your inner thoughts are being, accounted for. Because that brother didn't tell nobody that he wanted to step down from his position.
Right.
But the Most High knew, and the Most High sent a messenger to him saying, if you do this, I'll kill you.
Right. That's no joke. And nobody else saw that brother when he went through that. He's the only one that witnessed that and felt that. That's a powerful testimony, man. But that's how the angels work, man. They're there. They have jobs just like brothers and prophets have jobs. Their job is to keep us on track. So they're there to test us, put us through situations, get us out situations, protect us. We may be trying to drive to take one exit, and the angel put in our spirit or put a car to cut us off to where we missed the exit. Because the other exit was death. But that's how they work. That's how they operate, man. And I got another precept. This is book of Hebrews 1 verse 7. And of the angels, he's saying, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. Okay, so the angels are spirits, So that's why you can't necessarily always see them. But brothers caught one on camera through the fire. Because a lot of times spirits can be caught through fire, through smoke, through different lights. They'll pick up off of different electricity, things like that will make them appear. Now you have some left-hand side spirits and you have right-hand side spirits. The left-hand side spirits is the paranormal activity type spirits, man. And those are there to bring vengeance. Those are to bring the anger of the Most High. They're righteous too, but they're righteous on the left-hand side. The demons, the scary ones, operate off of that. Then you have the right-hand angels, the ones we've been talking about all lesson, that are there to uplift brothers, keep them on track, and basically protect, Because it really is a spiritual battle. There's things that you can't see that's going on past the naked eye.
Yeah.
Con, you got another precept, right?
Yeah. Because I was going to get that spirits created for vengeance, man. This is Sirach chapter 39 verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
That's right. Hey, you can see spirits. They got videos of YouTube videos been uploaded of so quote unquote ghosts or something knocking people over, knocking people off the highway, blocking cars, someone else getting hit. Those stuff exists, man. But you also got spirits that are there to kill you, man. You got spiritual green reapers out there. Those are the death angels. Those are still angels too, but they operate out there. They're the ones that appease the Most High. What the scripture said, they appease the Most High that made him. When he's angry, he's upset, and something happens to you, that's a spirit that was created for vengeance. You may be opening up the stove, all of a sudden it blows up fire in your face and burns your damn eyebrows off, man. That's that spirit created for vengeance. You may get in a car accident. Spirits are working all day, every day.
Yeah.
I got another precept. This is the book of Numbers 22. And I'll start at verse 21. It says, and Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And Yahweh's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of Yahweh stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside of the way and went into the field, and Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of Yahweh stood in a path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of Yahweh, she thrust herself into the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. And he smote her again. And the angel of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place, and there was no way to turn, either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of Yahweh, she fell down under Balaam. And Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And Yahweh opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? So the angel was sitting there ready to kill Balaam, man. And Balaam's donkey actually got the power to wake up and speak to Balaam and say, don't you see this angel getting ready to chop your damn head off, basically? You know, so just because you can't see does not mean there's not a force there standing right in front of your face, man.
Right.
In some cases, hey, the Lord can put on that spirit on animals to speak to you like that, to let you know. But that just proves the point of how the Lord created spirits for vengeance. The Lord sent that angel to basically destroy Balaam. Now, even though Balaam couldn't see it, the animals can see these things. They can see the other realm that we can't see.
Right.
That's why you get dogs that get the barking and stuff on blood moons.
Exactly.
Because they see all the demons that are being walking amongst the earth. So when the blood moons come out, that's them spirits of vengeance coming. They're having a field day killing people. And the animals can see it, man. When there's an earthquake when they come, the animals can feel that. They feel the angels working to be able to bring that earthquake or that tornado or storms. Those are angels guiding these things to happen, and the animals can see that whole realm.
Right. I have you still got some more?
Oh, you go ahead.
Well, I mean, just going into the fact, as this brother was saying, that, you know, us, we really can't see the angels. I had that account with Elisha. You know, so this is 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 13, and he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And I told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth. Behold, a host compassed the city both with horses and chariots and servants. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? So Elijah and Elisha were surrounded by an army. You know, so they were, you know, well, Elisha was really fearful because he was in his flesh. He was in a carnal sense, thinking, oh shit, what the fuck we about to do?
Right.
You know, we ain't got no weapons.
They're gonna win against that many.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, what would you think of that time?
We done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, what would you think?
Right. Yeah.
There's people out here trying to kill you, surrounded. But 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 16, and he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. So Elisha had that faith, knowing that, hey, the Most High got us. You know, because our army, our defense is not in this carnal world.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Right.
Because you had Captain Tazariak, you know, I don't mean to switch.
Right.
I'm not going to switch, not go up too far, but you had Captain Tazariak on his live stream yesterday talking about the Most High is not going to fight our battles. Nigga, who is this?
Wow, right.
What, you want to get guns?
Right.
Because I'm not duking it out with Esau gun to gun, man.
Right.
We not doing that. We're relying on the chariots and spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua to defend us, man.
Right.
We want spiritual powers. Fuck loading up some clips, man.
Right.
You know, but it's like verse 16 again. And fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened his eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Dang. Horses of fire and chariots round about. Those are things that was not visible at once with the naked eye.
Right.
Then the Lord opened his eyes to see that realm, and they saw. That's why the scriptures say, you know, we don't fight with carnality, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is a spiritual warfare, a spiritual battle, man. We can't win with straight Esau's blessing, your carnal guns. You're not going to be able to win against this devil. This dude's got freaking technology that's got so far with these weapons. This dude's got these machines that can send sound waves, and they can kill you with sound waves, man.
Right, lasers.
Lasers. They actually got a gun that shoots like lightning bolts out of it now, man.
Right.
All types of things, 50 calibers, so many different weapons. This damn devil is constantly working on every single day. You know, so hey, you can't win. But you got that precept up?
Yeah. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. I'm gonna start at verse 3. It says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds."
Hey, and we pull down those strongholds by prophesying. You know, carnal means something physical, something tangible, fleshly. That's not our weapons. When we're out there teaching and we're reading this is actual a spiritual sword. It cuts all the way through the soul, man. And it has the ability through these words that the Lord is dealing with you. You can call upon them angels like Elisha did, man, and have a whole army take out somebody. You be sitting there, you might never know in Jacob's trouble, you'll come across a whole SWAT team that's lined up, ready to gun you down like the gun line. And next thing you know, all of them just get boom, obliterated. Just all of them explode. Like somebody just took a giant hammer and with 1,000 miles per hour just crushed them. Those type of things are gonna happen, man. Or the Lord is gonna give us spiritual power. We'll be changed in an instant. But all those things, the angels help with that. The angels are there to grant those powers. The Most High will open up our eyes. The Most High Himself, Yahweh Shem Shai, will give us spiritual powers directly. He can use the angels. He can use his own will. Or in some cases, He'll send an animal to fight for you. Just like that account where you had the prophet was being teased, and the bear came out the woods and ate up 42 kids for teasing him. You know, so those are things that are going to happen. But I got another precept. Book of Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Yahweh is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. You know. Now this proves that in Mount Sinai, when Moses went up there to speak, there was angels up there, chariots. You know, so there's thousands of them, man. And once you become more and more in this truth, you start looking up to the sky more, and you start peeking them, seeing them, and you can see them. They're getting staged right now. They're getting into position for the Lord's return. This is why we're seeing so many of them. They're all over the internet. Even mainstream news is now casting. CNN is talking about releasing UFO footage.
Oh, the federal government earlier this year released. You know, they basically confirmed the existence of so-called UFOs when they released that information. They released the footage.
Yep. That's right. So it's no longer sci-fi now.
Right.
They used to tell us, niggas, you some crazy niggas. That's
Right.
Hollywood shit. Now the government's coming out with it. What now? Oh shit, man, you was right. Then niggas want to get on board. You know, I did see this one time. Then they want to come out with their testimonies and act like they believed it the whole time. Nah, man. We know.
Yep.
You know.
Because for you niggas, them chariots is a sign of destruction.
Right.
Because y'all don't have the same spirit we have when we see chariots, man.
Right.
You know, cause if we the large crowd of people, us brothers, you know, Lord willing, we be elect, we gonna see the chariots, be like, all right, hey, that's our ride out of here.
Right.
You niggas gonna be confused.
Right.
When the chariots start zapping niggas, you niggas gonna be scared.
Right.
So it's two different spirits when it comes to the chariots and the angels, man. We just pray that Lord willing, we be on the right side.
Right. That's all we can do. You know, and you got other doctors that came out there and say they call chariots as demons. Say all those are demons. And you got niggas that are fearful of these things. Hey, those of you that fell for that trap, that's because they're through the spirit. You're still have to be destroyed by it. Because at the end of the day, the chariots are going to be killing people out here too. They're going to be shooting concentrated beams of fire. Y'all motherfuckers going to fall victim to that shit, man.
Yeah.
You know? Those of you that fell for that doctrine, because the scriptures give you account of angels all throughout the scriptures, and it's clear as day. You can look up the images, the historical hieroglyphs, and all of that show the so-called UFOs, and see clearly that that's written within the Bible. And the Bible tells you that those belong to the Most High. Those are the angels. Those are the vehicles of the angels. You know, it's nothing to be feared, but it's to be feared at the same time. For the wicked, yeah, you fear that. For the righteous, we want to see it. we know that's our ticket out of here. We want that chariot to swing low and pick us up.
Yeah, like even though we don't fear in the sense of these niggas, we just have high respect for them
Right.
because we know what the fuck they can do.
Right, yeah.
We'll tread lightly when you see an angel.
God.
I had a quick one. This is a Revelation 22:8. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which showed me these things. So John, after he received, this is at the end of the Revelation, so he had seen all the things. He was, he was trying to go to the angel like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Because he saw the power, the magnificence, the destruction of the Lord. He was basically in fear.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what the angel said. Verse 9, then he said unto me, see thou so it's like, see thou do it not. So the angel basically saying, don't bow to me. It says, for I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren, the prophets.
God. Hey, that's why the angel, we gave the testimony at Shalom, man.
Yep.
That's why the angels come up. They hug brothers.
Yep.
They're our fellow servants. They look at us as their equal. They don't look at themselves as being above us.
Right.
They look at us as their blood brothers. This is my blood brother I need to look after for. They love us. They have that sincere love for us, man.
Yep.
So they rejoice, man. I remember my first time holding post for GMS Kansas City Camp, man. We saw a fleet of chariots coming by. It's like they were rejoicing for the fact that another brother stood out there to wake up and teach.
God.
You know?
And Lord willing, we be the elect, but the angels, have respect for us because they see the type of afflictions and the things we go through in our flesh, man.
Mm-hmm.
On our everyday life, they seeing that, man.
Right.
So they see all the the mental things you got going on, all the hell you catching, all that, man.
Right.
So they have they have respect for our struggle, man.
That's right.
Once again, Lord willing, we be the elect.
God.
But still they can see that.
Right.
Be like, damn, them brothers going through this. That brother ain't got no woman. Like, even though angels don't have sex, but that brother going through that.
Right.
That brother just lost his car and he's still maintaining faith in Yahweh Shem Yahshua. They see that, like,
They
man.
rejoicing. They celebrate.
You know what I'm
They
saying? Like,
cheering for that.
man, they be cheering us on, low key, in the spirit.
God.
Because you ever notice, like, in your lowest times, when you really going through some shit, that's when you see them signs. I know I have.
Right.
When I'm really like beat down, when you really feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you see that chariot, that's like you light up. You like, okay, we back in the game.
Right.
No, but just to finish it, Revelation 22:9. Then he said unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book.
God.
You got it.
God, go ahead. You good?
And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. So things were sealed. People didn't understand the meaning of the chariots. People didn't understand the meaning of the angels and the destruction of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Even though, like we mentioned earlier in the video, that Jake had that common understanding of slavery, now it's coming full circle, man. Now it's coming full circle. Okay, we the Israelites. Now, we understand, okay, them things is not aliens from Mars.
Right, yeah.
Them things, as it says, these are our fellow servants, our brethren,
Right.
in the chariots, watching, observing us,
Right.
observing us. It's beautiful, man. You got it, bro.
God. Hey, and that's one thing the angels will do too. That's why the angel came up to that brother that got burned and he gave him a death threat.
Yep.
The angels get very pissed off if you would ever take your hand off this plow or even think about doing less than what you've been called to do. Stay motivated and keep pushing. The angels show themselves to you to give you that extra push, that motivation.
Yep.
That's why they allow us to see that photo that came across, man. Hopeful Elect was able to view that photo, man. Brother, seeing chariots in the sky, that's to increase your spirit, increase your faith, keep you going. When you see things like that, you should want to go 10 times stronger, man. If your faith was ever wavered, if you start doubting yourself, the angels sometimes they'll appear, man. You'll see a chariot in the sky. You'd be like, wow, man, I needed to see that. Lord, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai knows I needed to see that. I saw that a couple of days ago, looked in the sky, I saw chariots just dancing through the sky. I had to send it to the group text and, dang, brothers, I just saw chariots just dancing, going back and forth. That was beautiful, man. That's all I got on that. You got any more precepts?
Yeah, I'm trying to find one more.
So, you know, people are going to continue to see these things more and more and more. You're getting, you know, on social media is being shared, footage getting caught from Mexico, from Africa, from Russia, from India, from Afghanistan. And they're getting more and more closer and visible too. You know?
Yep, I got one. This is Sirach. Shit, we started 30. This is Sirach 36:1. It says, "Have mercy upon us, O Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai of all, or Yahweh power of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon the nations that seek not after thee." So these nations it's going to incite fear.
Right.
Because you had the video of in Iran when they saw a chariot and they was shooting the guns with the tracers on them.
Yep.
And it wasn't hitting shit.
Right, yep.
Chariot was ducking in and out.
Yep.
So how the fuck you gonna try to destroy something you can't touch, man?
Right.
Cause you people used to jets and planes and things like that. You not fucking with these angelic vehicles, man, that can maneuver it. The first they going this way, that way, you know.
Right.
They
No chance.
you can't predict these type of things, man.
God.
So how the fuck you gonna destroy it? So they gonna have fear in that. It says, "And send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nations." Lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power. And ultimately, the real show of force, the real show of power is Yahweh Shai's chariot, man.
God.
Because all the things we seeing now, that's low level. Those are just, you know, the little vehicles.
Right.
What happens when the big father ship comes in and covers the sun, man?
Right.
It'll be high noon where you at. Next thing you know, it's pitch black because you got a Yahweh Shai's chariot covering the whole earth, man.
God.
That's a pure sign of power, man. Sirach 36:3 again. "Lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power, as thou wast sanctified in us before them, so thou be magnified among them before us. And let them know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O power. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works." and a whole fleet. What's that military term? A whole armada. Because you really can't say a fleet. It's a whole
Right.
armada. It's a full army
Right.
of chariots is coming to fuck this place up, man.
Right.
And you nations are gonna have pure fear
Right.
and terror in your hearts, man.
Especially when that cloak comes off, the ones that are disguised as clouds.
Right.
Because there's so many hundreds of thousands of them up there right now that you think are clouds but ain't. And when that cloak comes off, they're gonna be terrified. Because none of their tracking radar systems are gonna pick up anything in our airspace. It's gonna boom, just pop there, next thing you know, zap motherfuckers and kill them. And they're gonna think they're in a movie. They're not gonna know what to know. People are gonna be pinching themselves. Am I dreaming?
Hey, what scripture say? Men's hearts failing them for fear.
Yep.
So niggas gonna be looking up and have a straight heart attack before they even get zapped, man.
Right. Yep. God.
That's all I got, bro.
But yeah, with that, you know, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone, and taught us truth and rule well. And salutations to your own flesh, which is truth and all honor and sincerity. Shalom, Baba Ball.
Shalom, Baba Ball.